All right. We're live.
Hello, I'm Matt Bergman, and you are listening to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 253. I'm here tonight with Jared Schneiderman,
Hey, everybody.
Philip Dassing,
What's going on?
Kyle Wagner,
Hey, guys.
and Dave Gregg.
Hey, everybody.
So, topic number one tonight is Kobe Bryant died.
Yeah. I got a text from my girlfriend today that Kobe died, and I was a little shaken, man. I kind of grew up watching Kobe. He was the man between the Jordan era and the LeBron era, and I just felt like I knew the guy. You know, his
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I watched a lot of press conferences with him, and they always talked about his competitive spirit. Like, he was in the gym first thing in the morning, like 4 a.m., and just relentless competitor. And his style was like he was not afraid to, we could say, copy or learn from others. So he would watch footage from players that were long retired and study their moves and try to incorporate those moves into his own game. And he was only 41, so he wasn't a whole lot older than, I think, is anybody here 41 yet? No?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, wasn't a whole lot older than us, though. And, yeah, man, I mean, everybody's, like, understandably upset. His daughter, 13-year-old daughter, also died. And I was talking to Jill, and she was saying, like, well, I guess the traffic is so bad in L.A., maybe that, like, he was taking a helicopter. This is what I heard. This is all speculation, but he was taking the helicopter to, like, a game or a practice of his daughter's.
Yep.
With other people, and
Another player that was on her team as well, and their parent. That's
oh
what I
my
heard.
gosh,
Well, I've heard there was approximately 7 people on there. That's what I'm hearing.
9.
nine total. It was the pilot and 8 passengers.
Jared, where do you get these fucked up numbers?
Yeah.
Fucking CNN, bro.
Well, yes, yeah. They keep releasing more and more details, but I don't know. It's weird. It's funny. Like 2 days before, LeBron actually passed him for the third on the NBA's all-time scoring list.
Mm-hmm.
But to even be in the top 5 of the NBA all-time scoring list is like you have to be the best of the best of the best.
That was his last tweet too last night.
His last tweet was a congratulations to LeBron, which showed humility, and he was like, keep advancing the game and stay strong, brother, or something like that. It was I went to his Twitter, and that was like the last thing he tweeted, and it just shows you, like, I mean, he came a long way. He was always a guy that was a little bit of a, I don't know how to loner's not really the right word, but like not really one of the boys. He was always more of a, kind of doing his own thing. He spent time in Italy as a kid, and he spoke multiple languages, and he just, like I said, was a relentless competitor. So he was more like the guy that's probably just doing his own thing away from the team and like trying to get better and just focused on winning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably hard to play with somebody like that that's so driven. But yeah, I appreciate what a competitor he was,
Yeah, I think that since he played it, baseball is just such a better sport. And it's just.
Well, Kyle, what are your thoughts on his whole sexual assault case back in the early 2000s, I think?
Yeah, it was.
He did admit that he I guess was like cheating on his wife or something like that, and of course, like this kind of thing gets brought up when you talk about Kobe or Ray Lewis or any of these sports stars that have a few questionable incidents or black marks on their record. And I don't know, it's conceivable to me that the girl made up the story trying to get money, and it's conceivable to me that it happened.
What the hell is that?
R2D2 in the corner.
Yeah. Is that your ringtone?
Wow.
Oh, his like.
Well,
phone makes this.
because he never actually got. I mean, he never got convicted. She dropped the charges.
They settled out of court, or something like that.
Yeah.
But that happened in the middle of his career, maybe even toward the early part of his career, and he came back and moved on from it and continued to play basketball and had a hell of a career. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I feel a loss. Like like I said, I feel like I knew the guy, but for as far as celebrity deaths go, it was so out of the blue. You're just not expecting a 41-year-old guy to die. So anyway,
Do they know yet what caused the crash?
I don't think so.
Mm.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Those
man.
details will come out,
Could be like another Epstein situation, man. He didn't kill himself.
Yeah, did Kobe say anything about Hillary in the past
I don't
few
know.
days, or
Yeah, there's a lot.
I think
of
that was his actual last tweet, dude.
someone said
I
something.
have
about-
information that will lead to Hillary Clinton's arrest.
Yeah, that was probably it.
yeah. So I'm a little bummed out, but
It was just really shocking. I don't. That's all it came to was that it's just shocking. Like I was never a huge Kobe fan, but just like wow, he's dead. He was about to get inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, right? Like in the summer.
yeah. I mean,
It's,
he
like, crazy.
should be a first ballot Hall
Yeah,
of
he
Famer. I would think unanimous Hall of Famer because
I don't get me started on that.
he was third on the all-time scoring list. Like I said, that's absurd. That's like
Yeah, that's because he took like a fuck ton of shots though. So
well, whatever. I mean,
Eh.
he made a lot too.
yeah, just
I
because you
think- I
take
think
like
they
80
said
more than the
his-
people on your team.
In his final game, he scored 60 points.
I forget.
Like right before retirement, he went out scoring 60 points, and they were also talking on the radio about his heroics with a ruptured Achilles. That he made like free throws. He blew out his Achilles and still stayed in the game to like hit his 2 free throws or something like that. Apparently that happened.
Yeah, and I just remember like that 80-point game against Toronto.
Yeah,
I remember that. That was crazy.
but all these guys, these NBA players, they all have like not all of them, but they just had. I don't know how to like put my finger on it, but they're kind of like gritty, competitive guys. Like I don't know. I learn a little bit from them.
That's inspiring, Kyle.
Like he, I don't know. They don't really clown around too much. They're just, it's all business.
It's all business.
Yeah. But, R.I.P. to Kobe.
Yeah.
All right.
We love you, bro.
One love. All right. So next topic. What's going on with this Kung flu? What's the
Yes,
deal?
it's the
What's the deal with that?
The coronavirus, man. You guys ever
wow.
hear about the coronavirus?
Heard of Corona Light?
Oh, everyone's got terrible bits and jokes about that.
I
Awful
heard-
shtick.
I
on
heard
the
it's a
internet.
combination of multiple types of diseases or multiple flu strains. It's not one thing. That's what I've heard.
Isn't all flus combinations of other ones though?
I don't know.
Well, it apparently the Washington Times is reporting that it started in the because this is in China and the Wuhan, the city of Wuhan. Not like
Oh,
anyone's
yeah.
ever heard of Wuhan before this.
I was gonna say yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the Hubei province. Yeah, you know that province,
Oh, just like they knew who Soleimani was.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Soleimani did this. That's
Yeah,
why.
Maybe
That's
Soleimani
why they
had
killed
the
him because he
virus.
released the virus.
I heard they got
He released the
46
virus.
million people on lockdown in China.
Yeah, the whole city. Yeah, the whole
46 million.
yeah, the whole fucking
Fuck,
city is
dude.
on lockdown. The
Yeah,
whole
so
province.
Josh Stavlophagus actually he started hit me up the other night on Messenger, and he sent me like 5 pictures of like people dropping dead on the street, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, I've got a buddy who's in China right now, and he says the media is not saying how bad this whole coronavirus actually is.
Oh. Wow. That's
Yeah,
that's
I know, that's-
believable.
Yeah. Also, wasn't there like 2 people in the States who?
3. Now there's 3
Now there's
cases.
3,
No,
okay.
5 total.
They said
5
some-
total in the United States. No dead, but
They said one of them landed in Baltimore.
Well, yeah, they took a
And
guy
they
off
were
a flight
escorted.
in BWI last
Yeah.
night who had flu-like symptoms, and so that brings the total. I think 1 person in Arizona, 1 person in Chicago.
We could have just
few
had the
people in
regular
California.
flu.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah, well, that's what they said. He tested negative for it, but they sent him for extra testing because it was like I think they said
Was he coming in
inconclusive.
from China?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're all everyone who's contracted went to the Wuhan province or the Hubei province. So
What's in the Hubei
Is it
province?
the Wuhan?
Wuhan.
Or Humba?
well,
Hubei?
Wuhan City, and it's in Hubei.
What's going on in
Hubei?
Wuhan,
I don't
dude?
It's Harambe. It's in Harambe, China.
What's happening
Rest
in
in peace.
Harambe?
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Party
I'm,
with Kobe.
Jeez, Phil.
I'm fucking dumb. This is the last. That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like
a province in
Hubei. I don't know. Whatever.
I thought you spoke like fluent Mandarin, dude.
I did.
Minor
Ni hao
detail.
ma. I don't know. Was that Vietnamese? I don't even know.
Wow, dude. We're about to excommunicate Phil for just outright racism.
Right. I speak Yiddish.
Hey,
I don't.
now.
I don't.
Well,
Bagel.
is this thing? It's fatal. This disease is fatal.
What's that?
Clearly.
Corona?
Yeah,
I think it
there's-
can be fatal.
There's
yeah.
80 people dead, and I think youngest was a 9-month-old baby in Shanghai. Sucks.
But is it dead? Is it like
It's
literally treatable, right? But it's
this
just
is literally
China.
like a flu. It's a flu.
Right.
And so this is what I'm torn about, because this happens so. I mean, what, 30,000 people die a year from the flu, the regular strand of flu.
Mhm.
One of the, but this one,
30,000 in America.
I think the world. I don't know.
Okay.
So it's like 80 people dying, since the beginning of the new year. It's weird because this was just Chinese New Year. Just
think
happened
we're-
yesterday.
Do you think
something
we're
like that.
overreacting, or do you think? This
I
is
think
the
it's a
next-
little bit of this is the Zika, SARS, and swine flu all wrapped into.
Wait. Zika was freaky because people were being born with small heads.
Yeah,
And that was scary.
that is scary. But it was like we're all gonna die from the Remember last year was like measles is outbreak is insane, and we're all gonna die, and because no one's vaccinating their kids. Remember that?
Was it a swine flu?
There was
I mean,
swine flu, bird
they
flu.
Did have elevated rates of measles, but yeah, it wasn't like
it's-
a fucking nationwide epidemic.
Yeah,
Well, I think
exactly.
they
It was
also
just like
do it
a
'cause-
dumb like Florida Housewives epidemic.
Right. So if I don't know, I just don't believe the media as it is
well,
now.
it's also it's an awareness.
You don't
thing,
trust the
too.
media?
Just,
No.
hey, wash your fucking hands. Use hand sanitizer. You know what I mean? Like there's some nasty shit going around. We don't.
Well,
want it
Asian
around
people
here.
always wear masks.
Don't
So,
wipe your
anywhere
butt
you
with your
go.
hands.
That is an interesting thing.
They always do, but they say like apparently you can cough and like it gets in your eye and you can contract it or something. Ugh, I don't know. I'm like half like scared out of my mind, half like, well, this is just dumb, and probably by March they don't ever talk about this ever again.
Yeah.
But who knows? We might all be dead by then. I don't know.
There were some good movies with like some pandemics. Some
That's what scares the shit
Outbreak.
out of me.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Outbreak. The monkeys. Yeah.
12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
That was
Maybe
good.
that.
12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Well, maybe we shouldn't
That was
worry
a
until it
pandemic.
really until like one of you guys gets it.
Well, if I have more to lose than you, Kyle,
I know.
like I'm frightened.
Yeah.
I'm startled. A little shook. I'm in a shock situation.
Taking off work for the next 2 weeks. Let this whole thing blow over.
Yeah. I mean, because everyone's Wish.com order is coming from there. So
Oh, that's a
kinda-
good point.
yeah, makes
Yeah.
a little
Yeah, but
nervous.
it's not coming for 3 months though.
That's true.
It's a crack pipe.
Dildo I ordered, man. It's gonna have Corona all over it.
Corona dildos.
Yeah. So
Corona
what,
crack pipes and dildos. Is that the podcast title?
Sure, write it down. It's in the running. So what? Okay. So what? How do you guys feel? Like, is this something that's like
It's not even on my radar.
it's not even on your radar?
No.
All right. Well,
Yeah. Not on the radar.
well,
I've
you
heard
Matt?
of it.
I mean, yeah, I've heard of it, but it's just not. It's not a blip on my radar. You know.
I don't even. Have
Well,
a
you Matt,
radar.
are you worried about this?
You do.
It
We
seems
all-
pretty
we all
scary to
do.
me.
I don't know.
You know, what about you? What about you, Dave?
What's that?
Is
What?
this
I'm listening. What?
you have your own podcast over there?
Yeah, no. I don't. It's not even on my radar.
Really?
I don't
Okay.
even have a radar.
You just. What about gaydar? Do you have a gaydar?
Damn right I
Is it
do.
on your radar?
It's going off
Why
already.
did they name it Corona? Do we know?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know, dude.
None of us know.
Nowhere near Mexico. This is fucking bullshit.
The best because that led to
What's
all
next?
this terrible
The
memes.
Cerveza virus.
Yeah. Oh, boo.
Corona's probably their PR is probably doing like damage control.
I don't think so. I think this is probably actually doing really well for them.
You think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everyone keeps talking about Corona now. I'm guaranteed there's at least one person out there who's like, "Damn, I could go for a Corona." You know? Like shit, I could really go for that right now.
Cut up a slice of lime and
Right.
stick it in your butt, and that'll help.
Yeah, butt chug a Corona.
What if that's the cure?
Well, that's an awful because I don't drink Corona, so I'd just die. Why didn't you guys seem
Wow.
upset about that? I just said I could die, and you guys were just like looking.
I was still laughing at my lime joke, man.
You guys are just like, yeah, that would be beneficial. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll,
I'm
we'll
just
make a
worried
good
about
meme about you.
You know,
Yeah, once you have kids, like this shit just like frightens me. I don't know. Half frightens me, the other half I'm like, my God. I remember like think, oh my God, Zika virus. My wife's pregnant. She
You should
could
have
get Zika, and like
you should have life insurance.
Yeah, but you can only get Zika if you
They
went
do.
to like
Good.
the Caribbean.
I know, but it's like one of
Brazil,
those things
right?
like I don't know.
What if a mosquito
Right.
latched onto someone's
Your mind wanders.
butthole?
When you have kids, your mind wanders into these like That's why like
Yeah.
there's all these awful Karens out there who are probably like rushing to the grocery store to get like bread and like milk and toilet paper.
For when we have
all
to,
these
like,
awful Karens.
Karens, yeah, like oh my god, we need to go. Like
gonna
we're all gonna die. Someone think of the children. Like
I'm not gonna ride a helicopter anytime soon. I can tell you
Yeah.
that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Not to you know. So not even to throw out commies. You're not even do. You're gonna
Yeah.
stop that.
No, I was never on board with the whole throw commies from helicopters meme. Didn't
Me
really
neither.
understand.
But it's still funny though. Whenever I see a communist, like someone posts something like communist, I always respond. There's a GIF of a person like who's falling out of a helicopter, and you just see it from his perspective. And I just post it right on. That's as further like as far as I go. But there was the
That's
only
pretty far.
yeah. I don't.
All right.
I'm not sitting there like Chase Rachel's, writing a book with that on the cover.
Yeah. I saw something from his Radical Capitalist
Oh,
website the other
that's
day.
unfortunate.
Somebody shared.
Was it radical?
It was something about how, capitalism requires a white Christian nation or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
right.
Something about religion, the importance of religion
No,
to capitalism.
It's
I was
like,
like,
like very. He somehow
Sure,
managed to put
Stefan
in there.
Melanin would approve.
Yeah, Stefan Melanin. Somehow he managed to crowbar into like anti-Judaism.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it.
Nice.
Speaking of which, dude, there's this guy who's trolling our Instagram who just keeps saying that we're cucks for Jews
Mm.
or
Nice.
open border Jews. We're shills. Yeah, we're Jewish shills.
I mean, I kind of am an open border Jew.
Oh,
that doesn't really help
busted.
my case.
I'm a no
now.
border Jew, actually.
Yeah, so he's literally posted on I think 3 now of my back-to-back posts like you're an open border Jewish shill. I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh.
all right.
Did you boot? Can you block people?
I was like, fuck off, Nazi. That's all. That's all I said back.
I guess you could block people. On
Someone
Insta.
reported his first comment. Someone reported it because it disappeared, and then he popped up on the next two. I was like, oh, he's back. All right.
That's the only time I'm in favor for calling people Nazis is when they say you're blah 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 Jew.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're a Nazi.
Yeah. But he's
Okay?
like he's from like San Antonio, and he's like a Hispanic guy. So
Still Nazi.
yeah, I'm like
Nazi. He's an L Nazi.
an
There it is. I got one. See you guys. I set Phil up once. I'm going home.
Oh god. Oh man. It's got the little like squiggly mark over the A. Nazi. Oh, El Nazi.
And the upside down exclamation point before it.
Not
Yeah.
see.
So dumb. Oh, it's the little things. Oh man. All right. Whatever. Move on.
Moving on.
Moving on. All
Rogan
right.
endorses Bernie.
Wow, Phil.
All right. We might have to pause and let Phil get this all
I'm
out.
sorry.
Phil,
I'm sorry.
Is a symptom of coronavirus just endless laughter?
I hope not.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Let's move on. Sorry. My bad.
All right. So yeah, Rogan, Joe Rogan of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, endorsed Bernie apparently. So I didn't see this. Did he actually? What did he tweet something? Did he?
I heard he said he would vote for Bernie.
That's
like
all he
on a
said.
podcast when talking with
Yeah,
somebody.
that's all he said. He
Okay,
was talking
but
with
that's not really
Barry
an
Weiss.
endorsement.
I think her name was Barry Weiss from like it was.
Yeah,
New
he
York
was just
Times.
saying who he's going to vote for in the Democratic primary.
Right.
And
So I saw
Wait,
this.
the primary or the actual election? I thought he said like if if it came down between you and Trump, I'd vote for Bernie. I think
Yeah.
that he was thinking about.
Yeah, but he was also talking about everybody else who he liked.
But
He
that
liked
podcast
Andrew
was like
Yang.
months ago,
He liked.
Was it?
or a month ago, weeks ago at the least.
Well, the headline is now.
Yeah, I
Everybody's
thought this was
saying-
the
Yeah.
most recent one.
So I saw. Yeah. Speaking of
I don't-
headlines.
I don't watch it.
well, he pumps them out, so it's hard to keep track of.
Speaking of headlines, this was a headline that came from
Line of
CNN,
head.
which says Bernie Sanders is facing a Bernie Sanders is facing a backlash from some Democrats after his campaign trumpeted an endorsement from comedian Joe Rogan, a popular podcast and YouTube talk show host with a history of making racist, homophobic, and transphobic comments.
Yeah, someone put together
Oh.
a whole collage of him dropping M-bombs like back to back. It's hilarious.
What, Joe Rogan?
Oh,
dropping
yeah.
M-bombs? Oh my god.
And there's one thing and it's just word after word after word, and then finally there's one thing he's just standing there like, and he goes, "Nigga." I was cracking up to it. I was supposed to be horrified by it. It was what his leftist put it out, but I was just laughing so hard because the way they did it, the editing was perfect. So
Well,
kudos
you know,
to that SJW did that.
That's the beauty of Joe Rogan's podcast, right? You're welcome to take anything out of context you want, and you can
Yeah.
make them look totally terrible. But
Right.
you're welcome to listen to all 3 hours of each, episode that he puts out, and you get what he's saying and
Yeah.
why he's saying it, and he wants to. You shouldn't get in trouble for using a word, for saying a word.
Oh
you
shit!
know?
I just thought about this.
I mean, I've probably listened to at least, I don't know, 3 months worth of content from Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
and I don't think any of those characterizations are fair at all.
No, completely not.
He's always been sort of sympathetic to like libertarians, or he's at least had them on, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's sympathetic to a lot of things. I mean, I wouldn't say he's libertarian by any stretch. I mean, he's advocated, and when I say advocate, I mean, we're talking about a comedian that just talks about shit.
Yeah,
And is self-aware of the fact that he just is talking shit.
Yeah,
But, he said things in favor of, like, universal health care, of UBI.
yeah.
I know he liked Yang a lot.
He's all over the map politically.
Yeah,
It seems like he's sort of just, whatever's in front of him, he's going with.
Well,
yeah, I mean, he also backed Ron Paul in, I believe, 2008 and 2012, and I believe in 2016, I think he actually back Gary Johnson in 2016.
he had
I
Gary
know he
Johnson
actually
on.
I know he definitely had Gary on his show.
Yeah. I think the same thing that he said to Bernie, where it's like, oh, I could vote for you, or something like that,
He's a drug guy, right? He's like pro drugs.
Oh, what,
Yeah.
Joe?
Joe,
Oh, yeah.
very
Yeah,
much.
big
Oh, yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, he's very libertarian in a lot of ways.
How about
In some
guns?
ways,
The pro gun.
yeah, he's pro gun. I don't know if he's like pro. I don't know if he's as pro gun.
He's not as pro-gun as you guys are pro-gun. I mean, he's still, I think he said he's still, they've got to figure something out, but he hasn't necessarily called for, like, bans on guns.
Yeah, he hasn't called for anything specific, but he recognizes there's a problem. But I think he was one of the first people to, talk about like the mental health aspect of it, and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He is definitely, he will blame the medications that people are on, like anti-anxiety medications. He'll talk about that all day long before he even talks about the access to a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's why people are doing this. It's not
Right.
it's not a problem with the gun. It's the problem with the person.
He's got nasty kicks.
Nasty what?
Kicks.
Like shoes?
No, like
Oh, yeah.
his legs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kyle's just
you ever
dropping
seen
some
a video?
slang from the 1980s on
You
us.
ever seen
Sweet kicks, bro.
Joe Rogan like kicking things? He just destroys some heavy bags and some like rubber dummies and things like that.
yeah,
They just go flying. He just has very heavy.
yeah. He's got
Well,
Well, he
he's-
was a karate black belt.
Was he? I
Mhm.
mean, makes sense.
Yeah,
Taekwondo. He was like he was going to go to the Olympics for it was Taekwondo, right?
I'm
yeah,
not
I think
sure.
so. I
He's like a
don't
black belt
recall the
in that.
Olympics thing, but I know he was a black belt.
This whole thing just kind of cracks me up because it seems like a lot of like Democrats are kind of like trying to shame Bernie because Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie, and it's like and the Bernie, like, because Bernie Sanders tried to like use that endorsement as like a commercial for himself, right? And it's like, yeah, I mean, what's the shame here? You get the endorsement of the most popular podcast ever.
Yeah.
Which
You know?
the audience is like bigger than most of these nighttime TV shows.
Well, that's what this is.
Uh,
This is, in my mind, this is CNN going after like the most popular podcast and entertainment show probably right now.
mhm.
Well,
Arguably.
I mean, they're not really going after Rogan as much as they're going after Bernie.
Well, what I'm going to say is they were going after both of them in like one fell
Well, I
swoop.
think they were. I think they were going after Rogan in attempts to get Bernie.
Exactly.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Exactly.
But it's interesting that they're doing
Not,
this
not
now.
that they wouldn't go after Rogan.
after
But,
like
right
months-
right now, Bernie's their primary concern.
It's interesting that they go after him now, months after he had Bernie as a guest on his show, and it's all for
Did-
Joe Rogan saying, "Yeah, I'd probably vote for him."
Was it that
You
Bernie
know?
included it in like some campaign material?
That's got to
Maybe.
be it.
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's
No,
it's
I
ridiculous.
believe Bernie just made like a 30-second clip of Joe Rogan saying that he would vote for Bernie in the primary, and
Yeah.
I believe
it's
I saw
smart.
that- Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I wish like Gary Johnson would have done that.
I always thought Bernie was an outsider, like to the establishment, the Democrat establishment. I think he's usually registered as an independent.
Yeah.
And he goes Democrat to run for president and then goes back to independent or something like that. But I kind of thought they didn't appreciate him. Maybe they did appreciate it, but challenging Hillary last time. I mean, remember it was those were the only two candidates in the Democratic primary. It was Hillary and Bernie.
Well, no, you're forgetting about O'Malley, dude.
Yeah,
I know, only two significant candidites, and I just kind of thought that they didn't like him, but maybe he's grown on people, and now the Democratic establishment is comfortable with Bernie. If he happens to win, I'm sure they'll get behind him against Trump. Well, I think they will.
Well, yeah,
Well,
probably.
no, they're not. They're not. I mean, Warren clearly called him a liar, and then after that was followed by Hillary said that she literally said nobody likes Bernie. No one wants to work with him.
Oh, I didn't
She
hear
literally
that.
came out and said that in an interview. She said,
That was in the documentary.
I don't know if that was in the documentary or a press release or her just giving an interview about her documentary that's coming out. You know, the one that everyone's rushing.
Well, yeah,
to
it was
see.
at the what's that festival in California, the Sundance. They premiered her documentary at the Sundance, and she was giving a Q&A, and I think that's where she said that.
She said no one likes Bernie.
Is
No
that-
one wants to work.
Is
with
that
him.
why? Was it Tulsi said I like Bernie? Hashtag I like
Yes,
Bernie.
that's why she said I like
Well, you
Bernie.
know,
That's why you responded,
Oh.
and you responded, I don't.
I
like
mean, they would
Bernie."
probably honestly prefer Trump to stay in office because that gives them more fuel for the next election, where they
That's-
can get one of their establishment
I
candidates.
think
in.
they're punting on the election. I think the
Yeah.
Democrats are punting. They say, you know what? We got no one came forward. Hillary is still
I
resting on her warm rock.
No, it's still
And,
Biden, man. Biden's gonna. I mean,
all right.
I don't see
you
it
know,
happening.
I was reading an article. I was looking for topics for this show that was saying, everybody's reporting that Bernie's surging in Iowa and Bernie's up, and the guy was like, every poll I look at has Biden still with a double-digit lead. So I
Well,
don't know
yeah,
where this is coming
I
from.
see the polls have Biden as a double-digit lead.
Are these the same polls that had Hillary Clinton
Right.
winning
Well, there's
by a
the thing.
landslide? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I trust the polls at all. I'm just saying what I see has been him still winning the nomination, but Bernie winning Iowa. And I think the problem there is people put way too much weight on stock into Iowa. I mean, it's not always the bellwether. I mean, I think I saw percentage-wise, it's not even that high.
I don't know. I guess
At least in recent years, it hasn't been that
maybe
high.
they think it sets the trend for the rest of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think at one point it did, but I think now, maybe with the internet
I
and
wonder
whatnot.
what it's like to live there and just be exposed to this constant
Oh,
circus
God.
for
Sounds
months
fucking
and
awful.
months and months. When is the primary out there? Do you
Imagine a
know?
bunch of lizard people just
February.
showing up in your
Oh,
city.
so it's next month,
Yeah.
right? And then
We're only 4 weeks away
4
or
weeks
maybe
away.
something
Oh,
like that.
geez.
It's
from the
crazy.
primary
From the Iowa
caucus.
yeah.
Shit.
It's coming quick, man, and we still don't know. They're still it's either going to be Biden, Warren, or Sanders. It's at this point, right? I mean, who else? Do you really think Buttigieg or butt plug, whatever, is going to... I think
If
he's
you
gonna
can't
be
pronounce
butt plug.
his name, he's dead in the water.
Yeah.
Should have just changed it to Stewart or something.
Max Power.
I don't know, man. I guess we're gonna
Force.
find out. I still think it's gonna be Biden, but we'll see. You know?
God. Did you guys see that video of him? Some guy came up behind him and is like, "Why are you attacking Bernie?" He goes,
What?
Where do you find this stuff?
Where is
Bill?
this?
I posted in the Punk Rock Libertarians group.
It sounds like Beavis. Or
Oh,
something.
dude, I got to set this up because this is hilarious. He
Play it into the mic.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. So Bernie,
Maybe I can throw it up on here.
if you can throw it up in there, it's the funniest fucking thing ever. And someone edited it, and so it just makes him look even more ridiculous.
Oh, no way.
So a guy walks, he's walking behind Biden, and it kind of taps him on the shoulder, "Hey, why are you messing with or why are you criticizing Bernie or something?" And he just goes off and he goes, "Why?" And he grabs him. He's like, "Why are you acting nervous, man? Why are you acting nervous?" He's like, "What?" The guy's saying what? You just you just jumped out of your skin. And he was like, "Why are you being nervous?" It's the best thing ever. I wish I could find it right now, but I got too many watch parties up on my phone and YouTube's running and shit. I should have been better prepared, but it's fucking hilarious.
A lot of lemon parties over
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. And the meat parties or what is it? What
The
is
beat
it?
stick, meat spin.
Meat spin. There you go. Yeah.
It's been spinning for 39 years.
and it looks like it too.
Wow.
So Tulsi's suing Hillary.
Oh yeah.
50 million.
50 mil.
for
Full
saying
50.
that she's a Russian asset.
yeah.
You think she's gonna win?
I hope she doesn't die.
I guess the better question is she going to survive this?
I don't know. I mean, what would you put her odds at? You know,
Well,
not good.
I mean, if she
Not
died, I mean, if
good.
she actually died, that would be very suspicious, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Epstein was suspicious, but
Yeah,
this
but
is even
nothing
more
would
directly
happen.
related.
Nothing would happen. They'd be like, well, it's a coincidence.
No, it would be a suicide.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The
She
meme
was
is-
really depressed.
Did you see the modified version of the contract?
Oh yeah, the one someone posted.
It was, I think, Michael Malice made
yeah,
it.
and it was fake, but yeah.
Well, yeah, it was definitely fake, but it was
hilarious.
hilarious. It's like in the not what is it, the like the legal filing, it said, you know, this the plaintiff or whatever, or what is it? Which one is it? Plaintiff? The person that's filing the suit?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
plaintiff.
The plaintiff acknowledges that she is not considering suicide at this point in time, and it was like in the legal document.
Yeah. Sound mind.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she might win something. She might settle out of court or something. You know, usually they come
yeah.
in with these like crazy high numbers, $50 million. Oh shit! And then they get like $100,000 or something like that, which would be nice.
Well,
but-
she got fucked from every angle on that, right? Because she was even. You
Is
could
there video?
Asking
was
for
this
a friend.
Was this on Pornhub?
But you know, even when she was during the debates, like she had paid Google all this money to, you know, so that when people type in her fucking name, her website comes up or something like that, or a Google ad or something like that, and they just throttled her, and I guess you couldn't get any of it, and
Google did that.
yeah, and they wouldn't even give her an explanation as to why it happened.
Wow.
Yeah, that was another thing that was on Joe Rogan. That's what I hear that from.
Wow.
I think
I
with
missed that.
suing, I think that's like, I mean, it's just all kind of part of politics, you know. To me, they make up lies about each other all the time. I mean, half this campaign effort is just lying about each other,
Yeah.
right? It's not really okay. Time to file a libel suit or a slander suit like you would if you were maybe a civilian that had your life ruined, like Nicholas Sandman. Sandman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the news
Mr.
again.
Sandman.
That was the kid that like had the chin picture.
Yeah, the most punchable face in America
mo-
last
yeah.
year. Remember at the black Israelites.
They
Oh, yeah,
called
he
him like
sued.
Why they gotta be
CNN,
black?
right?
yeah. They
They
settled
settled,
out
yeah.
of court, so we don't know how much he got. But the original lawsuit was for like $250 million
Oh my
for like ruining his life. You know, everybody was sort of calling him a neo-Nazi and all this stuff. And then you watch the video, and he's like this dorky kid who just happens to come face to face with this like guy banging his gong.
Right.
I mean, he was wearing a MAGA hat, which I guess is an unforgivable.
Well, yeah, that makes you
crime.
a criminal,
Right. But I just
which they bought there.
Yeah,
At the
bought it
Capitol.
there. That they got it from a black guy who's selling him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
I mean,
funny.
He's the type of kid to go to a concert and buy the T-shirt and then put it on over his polo shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And walk around with it. That's what this kid is.
Wow.
guys
he
want-
was at a
Terrible.
pro-life rally.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
Hold
I
on.
said.
Is this gonna be loud enough where we can put it into the mic?
If you guys want to hear this, this is the video Biden freaking out. Listen in.
How long is it?
It's literally like 5 seconds.
Okay.
You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man.
I like this. I like the music. Whoa, why you get nervous, Phil?
I hope that came over, man. I hope you guys can hear that. That was fucking
Should
hysterical.
we make that the title of the podcast? Just like, whoa. Why?
Why you get nervous, man?
Why you getting nervous, man?
All right, I'll put it on the list.
Oh, God, it's so stupid. Dude, and that guy could be president. I'm like, oh, who cares, man? Donald Trump's president. Anything can happen now. Like, that's literally.
Phil literally has tears
Oh
coming
my
out of his eyes right now. He's
Oh, I
crying from
can't stop.
laughing so hard.
Oh, I'm probably blood red too. Oh God, it's
Smoking the ganja.
But yeah, it was hilarious. But yeah, so Sandman, back to him. Someone
Mr.
made a
Sandman.
fucking hysterical meme, and they said, "Oh, it was nice because he showed back up at this year's pro-life march, or whatever." And someone made the meme that said it was nice to for CNN to send out its most highest paid employee.
I saw that.
That was great. Oh man, fuck. But yeah, so okay, so how do you guys feel about defamation lawsuits in general? What's your opinion on them? If it's another person's opinion, how can you sue them?
I'm fine with them. I think
It's not an opinion though. Like saying someone is a Russian asset is not an opinion.
Well,
it's a lie.
It's saying it's. I mean, that's a. I mean, I guess you can play with semantics and say, well, she's helping the cause of the Russians through, not wanting to fucking bomb every country. On
Exactly.
The planet,
So like, and by that stretch, you can make anyone's an asset of anyone.
It's not like she said she's a Russian agent.
No, she didn't say agent. She said asset.
That's right.
Literally a KGB agent.
Yeah, I mean, you could ruin someone's life by making up lies about them, and
Yeah.
so I do think you need laws to, I don't know.
I think that's aggression.
Prohibit that.
But if she were to win that, then Donald Trump couldn't he go around and be like, I'm going to sue everybody?
Right? Yeah. I mean, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I don't have small hands.
Because
Well,
everybody
small
said he
cock.
was what fucking Colbert said he was Putin's cock holster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like in the political sphere, those rules kind of don't really apply the same.
Yeah, can
as
you sue
to a
like anybody?
civilian.
Yeah, can you sue
Like-
like anybody that's running a campaign that's like
Yeah.
talking about their opponent?
Yeah,
like
once
this
you
person's
enter
bad
that
for America.
Once you enter that sphere, that public sphere, and you're running for office, there's a lot.
So
of
so that's the only
nasty
time you're allowed to
things.
lie to people and get away with it. Like, yeah, they're lying. They're politicians. They
it's
lie. So
just-
that makes it.
I'm
fine.
saying it's like I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
how it works culturally.
It's just politics.
I don't think she'll win, and I really hate Hillary. So I'm torn. I'm kind of torn. I don't know.
You're torn on what?
I'm torn. Whether because it's a lawsuit in my favor, I guess.
I heard she wants to legalize drugs. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah, she did
Wants
say
to,
that
and
recently.
Yeah.
She said that recently. Yeah, I like Tulsi. She has good instincts. That's weak on economics, but on
But is she
And
though?
gun control.
Is she?
and gun control apparently.
'Cause she just says that. I feel like her the one thing I hear most from her, and that she goes in lengthy detail over, is the foreign intervention. That's what she goes in the most.
That's her number one issue.
She's like, yeah,
and I
Green New
mean,
Deal. Yeah,
from
okay,
that
cool. Yeah, sign me up.
standpoint, she's my favorite candidate.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
I'm not gonna register Democrat,
To
but
jerk
I'm
off
just saying.
to.
Whoa. In bed.
If it's Tulsi versus Trump, would you vote? Would you vote for Tulsi?
Yeah.
Yes. Phil?
Uh-uh.
No.
No.
Wait,
I
you wouldn't vote for Tulsi over Trump?
I wouldn't vote for Trump. I just wouldn't. I would abstain from the election.
Yeah.
Fair.
I can't bring myself to vote for her. I mean, she's way better than Trump, but if she might have had a chance to win.
I mean, if you held a gun to my head and you made me choose out of the two, I would choose her over Trump.
That's
But-
what I mean.
Yeah, like I don't think I could vote for her just because she's so bad on guns and she's just like economically and she's really bad on that, But as far as Democrats go, she's chosen the anti-war bit to be her number one issue. That's my number one issue, so I do like her a lot for that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And if she's talking about legalizing drugs,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number two issue.
I mean, yeah. So
Cherry
I
on
mean,
top.
I don't know. That might be enough to motivate me to actually vote for her.
And in politics, you get it's just like the douche versus turd South Park episode. I mean, we never really get or very rarely ever get our choice or our preferred candidate. You're usually choosing among the lesser of two evils.
Yep.
And I think you have to make a utilitarian choice and be like, okay, this one's marginally better.
Yeah. Or if it's someone talking about pulling us out of wars, I mean, you're talking about voting to save lives.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about someone that wants to legalize drugs, you're voting for also saving lives and not ruining lives and not continuing the cycle of, the drug war and all that. So
I was watching a History Channel show on YouTube. It was like that show Gangland about the Sons of Silence motorcycle gang, and one of their main trades is selling drugs. And I'm like, how many of these shows, if every single one of them, their main source of revenue is drug sales and sometimes gun sales. It's drugs and guns, And
Well,
you're
unfortunately,
like, well,
people
what the
just-
heck would all these gangs do if
Right.
if they couldn't sell drugs and couldn't sell guns illegally?
yeah.
They would have no other source of income.
right.
Like, that's it, That's like every gang, every criminal gang in this country, how they make their money.
Right.
You just hate America, Kyle.
You have to pull that rug out from under
gotta
them
back
and,
the
then-
blue,
and take away
Joe.
that revenue stream. And
Back to blue.
I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I forget about the war on drugs sometimes, like because other things come up and
Yeah.
other news comes up and it gets lost in the news cycle. But yeah, when she came out and said, I think that drugs should be legalized, I was like, wow, that's a bold stance. Good for her.
Well, it's because we have, read, Mises and stuff like that and have sort of familiarized ourselves with like basic economic facts.
Yeah,
We sort of take for granted that that's not necessarily intuitive to most people.
yeah.
Most people associate the legalization of something with like, just increasing it and, just
Yeah,
allowing it to
proliferation.
and
Yeah.
all this
Mhm.
when, in actuality, that's not always the case. And most of the time it's not the case.
Well, you got to just keep reiterating, prohibition creates black markets.
Right.
Prohibition creates black markets,
Yeah.
violent black markets. Even for guns, they
Yeah.
want to outlaw guns. It's like it's going to create a black market in guns, just like alcohol prohibition created a black market for alcohol and drug prohibition
Yeah.
created a black
Whenever
market
you
for
have a demand for something,
Yeah.
which, in the United States, I mean, sure, you can get away with banning guns in some countries because they just don't have a strong gun culture. They don't care enough. But, look at Virginia. They had how many people showed up?
22,000 estimated.
22,000 people showed up, just in that state for this protest against a Virginia gun law that's on the ballot.
Is that this topic here?
That is a topic.
Yeah.
But before we jump to that, I just want to say, so you have demand for something, and you have the supply for it, but when you restrict that supply artificially or you make it more dangerous through regulation and laws, you increase the profit that you can make off of it. You increase the value of it, and then it becomes more dangerous for the average person to do it. So then the people that are doing it are already the people that are high risk takers, like gang members, cartels, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just basic economics to figure this shit out. But unfortunately, most people just don't understand basic economics,
No. Well, you got
No, they don't.
keep reiterating those points.
Yeah.
But so what? You
So,
wanna
yeah.
talk about it?
So, yeah, this past Monday, Martin Luther King Day, was the protest in Richmond, Virginia.
I heard that it was peaceful.
Yeah, it was peaceful. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
one arrest. That was it.
Wow.
What was the arrest for?
Some girl was wearing a mask, and apparently there was rules against not wearing masks, or you can't wear a mask or something. I don't know, something stupid like that.
I found it interesting that there was no like violent leftists confronting them, and I guess the police didn't really confront them either. I don't know if that's a armed society, is a polite society.
Well,
I think if
Could be that, but also, I mean, I had read, now take it with a grain of salt because it came from Vice, but I had read that there were some Antifa groups, some local Antifa groups that were actually going to be joining in the protest, that were saying things like gun control is racist, the same thing Maj says.
yeah.
Gun control is transphobic. Gun control is, whatever.
Not transphobic. Oh my gosh.
What's that?
I said not that.
that's the worst one.
Yeah.
That's worse than
So, that could explain why there wasn't.
They also called off the dogs. They said that it wouldn't be. They didn't want to provoke violence, and they didn't want to provoke like violence with this extreme situation of like that many armed people, and
Yeah.
they didn't like. There was like they were like, look, we're not gonna be the reason why someone gets shot, and we're not gonna like something. They came out with an announcement or something along those lines from like the big Antifa group in Richmond. They were they came out and said that we're just not gonna participate or like protest this rally.
Well, the hardcore commies really want guns because they want to overthrow the capitalist
Right,
system.
exactly.
They want to kill capitalists and they want to kill the government and take
Yeah.
over. I mean, they do believe
Who doesn't?
They believe in violent revolution. So it's kind of hard to carry out a violent revolution. I guess with knives or whatever they would intend to use. So
Molotovs.
there is a
Milkshakes.
that segment of
Milkshakes,
the far left that is really radical and would still be pro gun possession
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
their own
Yeah.
revolutionary aspirations. But I think the vast majority of the left is anti-gun. Altogether.
Yeah, sort of the center left, liberals, neoliberals, those sorts of people tend to be anti-gun, pro-gun control.
Yeah, don't own them. Don't want them. Want them completely banned. No handguns, no shotguns, no anything.
Right.
You know.
And
Then,
guys, David Hogg, he said that there was a bunch of racists. There was a racist rally. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw a lot of pictures of colored
Whoa.
people of color.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Coloreds were
Colored
there.
folks. No,
I don't know what those
POCs.
rascally strangers were doing.
POCs.
Yeah, that used to not be racist, and now is racist.
Yeah, person of color. You can't say colored person.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Bigot.
Wow.
I got it twisted.
Wow.
But
Phil
yeah,
was really
but no,
rubbing
yeah,
off
there
on
was
you,
like-
Jared.
Like Maj was there.
No, Maj wasn't there.
Wait, he wasn't?
No,
I thought I saw.
He came the day before to Northern Virginia and had a big little conference thing up there. But
okay.
he did not actually show up to Richmond. And but Cal Maloney, he was there.
He's
Liberating
not
our VA.
black though.
Well, I was just saying who was there. Who was
Well, I'm just talking about
Alex
black
Jones?
people.
All right.
I watched John Wick 2 last night for the
Oh.
first time. And the body count in that movie is like absurd. You know, the whole movie is just basically him clearing rooms,
Yeah.
going from room to room.
Wait,
hit-
was this the first or the second?
second movie?
One? Yeah, I haven't seen the second one
The
yet.
first one, the body count, I had to look it up because I was like, God, I feel like I've watched a lot of people get shot in the head tonight. And so it's like the first movie has like 75, and then this movie has 128,
Damn.
which I estimated 200 because I made a post about it. I was like, the movie does not have a whole lot of plot. It's mostly just
I just
it's-
watched the third.
okay.
And the
That one
body
has
count.
double or something.
Wait, there's
the
a third
body
one?
count in
Yeah.
third. I was like tired by the end of it. I was like, come on, like it was just nonstop, like
You just
shooting
witnessed the
people and
Holocaust.
fucking killing people the
It-
whole time.
It starts to, and my post was
Did
about
they
how,
deserve
like,
it though?
who knows? I mean, it was
Not
just kind
really.
of like it defies believability, right? Because you're like, how does this guy hit everybody perfectly and kill him,
And
yet
they
he
all miss
never
him.
he never dies? Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
He's
Wow, way to
It's
spoil
like-
the ending, dude.
I know.
It's
What
like,
the hell?
Wow.
It's like stormtroopers, you know? Like everybody else
Yeah.
is just shooting the ceiling and the walls, and he's just like bang right in the head.
Or like
No.
GoldenEye.
Or he'll
James
double
Bond.
tap him. He'll hit the heart and the head.
And the head.
You
Gotta
know?
double tap. You gotta
Yeah.
double tap, man.
I started to feel sick by the end of like John Wick 3 because it's just the fight scenes. I was like, holy shit, this is like a 10-minute fight scene with these two guys you've got here at the end. And finally, like, he just like lets them go. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did think, I was like, man, I got to get to the range. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Just watching it.
But okay, so back to the protest. So you guys hear that immediately, like the next day afterwards, they rushed through a red flag law.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they pushed it through. I guess it still has to go to Northrum's desk, but like I guess they had a critical vote on it to like push it forward.
Yeah.
So
But that's
it's
not
like,
what they were protesting. They were protesting.
Well, everything. The red flag laws,
Yeah.
the one handgun a month law, and then like he wants to get rid of all AR-15s.
Well, yeah, that's what I
and
thought it
everything.
was, yeah.
It's everything. It's the
Yeah.
whole lot. I mean, they have a whole. They literally just looked at Maryland and said, "We're gonna do that."
Yeah. It sucks to be on the losing side of the of politics.
Oh,
As
yeah.
libertarians well know. Like, you know,
Preaching
it-
to the choir there,
you know,
Kyle?
going to protests and all is great for more, morale and getting together, but then at the end of the day, the people in office just do what they want to do. You know, so it's
And as we were talking about last time, it's the court systems that really fail
yeah. Well,
because you challenge it in court and they're like,
Well.
fuck the Constitution.
they're like, hey, those guys are the elected legislators, so they just sort of rubber stamp whatever gets passed, they support.
Yeah.
You know, so it'd be really cool to have a libertarian government and actually see, gun laws being loosened and drug laws being loosened and troops being brought home and
Oh, yeah, I mean, you have-
spending
you
being
have
cut,
some of that in New
taxes
Hampshire,
being
right?
lowered,
No, they just passed the red flag laws in New Hampshire.
They did?
Yes.
What
Wow.
about
Yeah.
what about the Free State Project?
Yeah.
Well, they
Not so
said,
free.
Fuck you, I guess.
Didn't work that well.
No. So we're all doomed. We're on the Titanic. Oh, but I heard an awesome conspiracy theory lately is that was it the
Is it Octagon Earth?
was it the Bilderberg? No, what was it? I guess the Morgans sent all of the people who were against the Federal Reserve Bank onto the Titanic and then blew up a bomb underneath of it in the middle of the ocean.
Wait, who did this?
It was the Morgans or the Rothschilds or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
I just quickly heard it. It was in a meme and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I love these.
I don't think they did that, but
I
I heard JFK was on the Titanic.
yeah.
No, he was on the Hindenburg.
Somebody posted like a big long couple paragraph, it's sort of all the conspiracies in my group, And
I eat them up. I love 'em.
like, God, was I ever like that? I hope I was not ever like, I gotta tell you guys, all this, dirt, all about the creature from Jekyll Island and all this shit. I don't know. I went through my phase, where I first got into libertarianism, where I was like, wow, this is all really crazy stuff, and I didn't really know what to believe. And I've kind of mellowed out a little bit.
Well, yeah. Now it's just so funny to engage in it. I love it. I love all the flat Earth memes I could find, and the Babylonian Brotherhood, and the.
Well, see, flat Earth, I still take as kind of just like that's just like sort of just being silly.
Not to these guys that I'm friends with. They're hilarious.
What,
They're
they believe in it?
Oh, they're dead serious. Where I don't you see you're not in the group that much.
Where's
you
the
would
curve?
see all the memes that I
Where's
post.
the curve?
Yeah, where's the curve?
Oh, man, I
this
can't do
guy,
Facebook
he
that
added me on
There's the
Facebook.
motherfucking curve.
Hey, I talked about him last week, I think. He added me, and he's literally like his shirt. It says like in the NASA logo, it just says "lies" in the font of NASA. And I was like, yes, this guy. I was like, I couldn't accept it quicker. I was
You know
like
what?
breaking my finger, like trying to press accept on a friend request.
You know what you forgot to put on the board was the new Space Force logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got corrected about that.
What?
A
It's
bunch
not
of
real?
a bunch of Trumpsters and MAGA dudes.
Trumpanzees.
Yeah, the Trumpanzees. They
What-
came forward.
Maggots.
It's actually a perfect mix between NASA's logo and the Air Force's logo. Because
Oh.
what the joke about is it looks just like the
Starfleet.
Starfleet from Star Trek. It looks
Yeah.
just like their logo.
You think in like 2,000 years, when the Space Force dominates this quadrant of the galaxy, the only thing in the history books will mention is like founded by Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh man,
It's going to be huge.
Huge.
that dude's
It just makes me laugh that like kids have to get taught. Like, you learn the presidents. They're going to have to get taught that Donald Trump.
Founded the.
Well, no,
space
just that he was the president.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's still hilarious to me.
He will be remembered as the president. Then they will have to go back and learn about, Home Alone and
How
all
he
his
got
other
edited out.
accomplishments,
Right.
his
Apprentice.
steaks, his vodka company, whatever it was. Did you guys hear the Elon Musk when he was talking about Elon Musk?
Who, Trump was?
Somebody asked him a question about Elon Musk. He was like, love Elon Musk. He's so good. He does rockets. He does rockets well.
I mean, where's the lie? All right.
I mean, it was the most incoherent fucking. I've never heard him.
He's Rocket Man.
Yeah,
How
right.
do you get on the Space Force?
Yeah,
How do you
gotta,
get on?
You got to get on the Air Force.
Through
It's a
the Air
division. Yeah,
Force?
it's a division of the Air Force.
That's got to be
Dude, that
like the
sounds kinda
number one
cool.
job now, right?
It's kind of
For
like how
little
like the
kids?
Marines are part of the Navy.
You want
as
to be an
much as they wanna
astronaut?
deny it.
No, I want to join the Space Force.
Yeah. You
Like
get drafted.
yeah.
I'll get drafted like Space Force for me. Check.
What's that movie with the bugs where they kill the bugs?
Oh, you're talking about
Bug's Life?
Starship.
Bugs Life.
I want to say Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Is that
Starship
it?
Troopers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm envisioning the Space Force.
Was
is
it
gonna be
Rico?
like.
What was the guy's name?
Rico, yeah.
Dude, Space Force sounds like such a 1980s sci-fi
I know.
movie. You know what I mean?
It's Donald Trump's baby, man.
He was like,
real.
they were like, what about Star Brigade?
Astro.
Space Force.
Starfleet was taken, right?
Yeah, I guess it
Yeah.
was. Space Force. God damn it. Well, according to this guy I just added, there's no such thing as space. Like, it doesn't exist. It's never been proven, and it's not real.
Is this in the punk rock libertarians group?
No, this guy's not. I invited him because I just wanted him to share. I was sharing all of his memes.
How did you become friends
Thank
with
you.
him?
He sent me a friend request, and he's from Britain, and he's
It's
an older
Hashem, by the
guy.
way.
Huh?
Phil could
So
not
it's Hashem.
accept it fast enough.
Hashem.
It's a Jew. I just made a Jew joke,
Oh,
but you didn't get it.
Yeah,
Anyways,
So
it's too far, man. But yeah, so he added me. I out of nowhere. I saw we had a few mutual friends, and then as soon as I saw the shirt, I was like, click.
Are you in a group of flat Earth groups and things
No,
like that?
I should.
That's the next level that you got to get
gotta
to.
go
Phil.
in.
I saw one
Yeah,
person.
they're pretty funny though. I think Flat Earth. I think they definitely have the best memes.
Oh my god, it's so funny because they're so dumb too. They're so dumb, but I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Where do you get all your inappropriate memes from? Like, what is that? There's just an endless. Matt has an endless supply of like sexual. memes.
Kylosphere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just friends with a lot of, I guess,
Dirtbags.
derelicts on Facebook. You know? And then I'm also in a couple of, I guess,
Uncouth.
uncouth groups as
Okay.
well, where I get these memes from.
Got
But
it.
yeah, and then I just throw them in your group.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Just an endless.
Speaking of transphobia,
Ooh.
I just saw you recently kicked out Kylie Wagner from the group.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Yeah, that was.
Are you gonna
more-
sue? Are you gonna sue her for defamation? Of
No,
character?
no, but yeah, that was because Kylie uses like part of my profile pic, and it's just like a spoof off of me, more so than Kylie's gender. That's what it's about. She's impersonating me.
Sounds like a lot of transphobia.
She's
there.
parodying you, though.
Yes, parodying me, and yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's a bummer.
She's very.
Do you know
upset.
who Kylie Wagner is?
I think I have a. I think.
I thought
know.
it was
Ooh.
Jake. I think it's Jake
Jake.
McCauley.
Oh, Jake McCauley. Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's who it is. I could be
shit,
wrong,
might
but
be. I don't know. I was thinking Chris.
Hofer?
Yeah.
Nah, I
No,
don't think
it's
so.
not Chris. I know who it is.
Yeah, he knows
but,
who it is. He won't tell me. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn
Damn,
it.
it's probably him, dude. It's probably bad.
It probably actually is straight up. It's
No,
like
no,
legit,
I
like
promise
Kylie
you, it's
Wagner.
not me.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing's terribly funny though.
It's a clone.
But yeah, I do think it's funny though that you'll kick Kylie Wagner out,
Mhm.
and then there was this dude that posted this I don't know, kind of racist stuff in there the other day, and I'm like, dude, Kyle, if I were admin, I would boot that guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know, it's not racist enough. Or
Kyle's like, let's hear about. Let's hear about.
Yeah,
Maybe the
was,
Jews
it
should
was
be
pretty
all
racist,
murdered.
and that guy. I mean, it's a sock account. Literally, the name is sock account. I thought it was.
yeah,
I
but
thought
what
it
the
was,
fuck, dude? You're like threatening to like kick me out for sharing wholesome memes. And
They're not wholesome.
Meanwhile,
They're not wholesome.
settle
They're-
down. Meanwhile, okay, you've got like fucking Adolf Hitler in there, dude. saying God knows what. I'm tagging you in the comments, and then you don't even delete his post.
Yeah, it wasn't. His post was like a veiled post. Like it wasn't the way he phrased the
It
question.
was like a Stefan
Kyle-
Melon tweet.
Kyle,
It was
how
like
are-
Stefan Melanin. Stefan
I don't
Melanin
know how
tweet.
to without like repeating what the guy said.
Yeah, well, Kyle,
Peanut.
how are POCs supposed to feel welcome in your libertarian group?
I wouldn't kick him out.
Well, you wouldn't kick them out, but I don't know.
Invite them in.
Yeah, I mean, I just think part
I invited
of
him.
social media is reading stuff that's offensive and things you don't like and arguing with people that are assholes. I mean,
Even
it's
people
not my
transgender.
job to protect everybody from mean political opinions or unpopular political opinions, And I've always had a group where people could say controversial things, as long as it doesn't get the group taken down, which is always a threat. And we have gotten warnings for hate speech, and I proved something one time, and it was like, now I get this warning that's like, your group is in jeopardy
Yeah,
because
yeah.
an admin has approved
I got that.
a post that Facebook has deemed hate speech, and it was something so stupid.
So
like,
they give you the option to approve it,
yeah, and
but then if you approve it, they're like, "Oh, you fucked up.
that's
Shouldn't
right.
approve that."
That's exactly
Gotcha,
right.
bitch.
Yeah, they're like, you approved something that goes against our community
Wow,
standards.
that's like
And,
baiting.
Do you feel like Facebook got you by your status balls right now?
No, I mean, I don't. I find it annoying, but I mean, if they took the group down, that's their prerogative, I guess. I would probably start it back up, and maybe the people that were true fans would rejoin, or I might let it
Or
go.
it would be all Kyle-
BBM's been around.
Kyle
for
Wagner parody
you know,
accounts.
Kyle-
going on 5 years almost.
Kyle, I joke around a lot with you, but I want you to know that I just respect the hell out of you, dude.
Thanks.
What
So,
about a
I think-
Kylo Wagner parody account where it's like Kylo Ren?
No, it has to be Kylo Wag.
Kylo Wag, yeah.
So okay, so now we're gonna take this on over to the after hours. So if you hit us
Yeah.
up over at patreon.com and contribute a minimum of $1 per month, you will gain access to our after hours program. That's how we keep the lights on down here in Anarchy Basement. So if you could hit us up over there at patreon.com, that would be much appreciated. We also have t-shirts over at libertariancountry.com. If you type in the code PRL or the code PRL podcast, you will receive a 10% discount. Until next time.
Live free.
Or die.